Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality. Inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Podcast disclosure. The following podcast is by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. DiNuzzo is for general informational purposes only. No portion of the podcast serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice from DiNuzzo. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that future performance of any specific investment or investment strategy or any non-investment related or planning services, discussion, or content will be profitable, be suitable for your portfolio or individual situation, or prove successful. No portion of the podcast content should be construed by a client or prospective client as a guarantee that he or she will experience a certain level of results if DiNuzzo is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Namaste. This is Mikey, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today, along with Manifestation Mindset Coach Papi DiNuzzo on the Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. If you are a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Papi Mindset Manifestation Mastermind and or the Papi Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you have been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, Papi's Mastermind and Retreats were created just for you. In the introduction, we always mention a tribe or a community. And if you really want to be part of a community or a tribe, be sure that you're following Papi on social media. It is a continuous stream of positive energy. So if you're not already, like millions of others, following Papi on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, I would highly recommend that you do that. Just go over. There's lots of positivity there. And speaking of positivity, let's go to Papi now to set the table. Namaste, Papi.
Namaste, Mikey. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. I want to thank you, Mikey, for all of your hard work in making this a wonderful show, every podcast that we do. I want to thank you, Kim, for making this such a wonderful show as well, for all the hard work that you put in. You two are the backbone of the entire show for all the hard work that you do. I'm very thankful, very appreciative, very grateful for both of you. So thank you so much. I say namaste, namaste, my wonderful, beautiful fellow brothers and sisters. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. I want to congratulate you, my fellow brothers and sisters, on the greatest day of your life. Congratulations on the greatest day of your life, and thanking you. And I want to thank you so much for spending it with us. It can be no other way. In my kickoff today, Mikey, I want to thank you so much. In my monologue, it's turned into that, evolved over the number of podcasts that we continue to grow and grow. Fellow brothers and sisters, from the feedback that we get, they love having sort of like a big message, and I love kicking it off with a high vibration. And I just remind our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, that anytime anyone from Papi Mindset Coach is interacting with them, or myself, when Papi's interacting with you, we're coming to you from a perspective of love and light and truth and goodness. Love over hate, light over darkness, truth over deception, and good over evil. We're coming to you from a grand awakening to awaken the inner knowing that lives within you, to dust it off, to wake it up, to water it and shine sunshine on it, to make it grow for a grand remembering. That is what we're here for, Papi Mindset Coach. We come to you with love. Love is the most important universal law of all universal laws. I come to you from a perspective of 100% spirituality. The neuroscientists will cover what's going on inside your body during manifesting. The quantum physicists will talk about things outside of your body. I'm coming from the highest level possible 100% pure spirituality, pure power and spirit and energy that flows down into you and through you, my fellow brothers and sisters. I love you. I love everything. This is a message of love from Papi Mindset Coach. You can never say you're not loved. I love you, and our entire team here at Papi Mindset Coach loves you. But what a wonderful day to share this message, to bond together, as Mikey had stated earlier, about being members of a tribe together with like-minded fellow brothers and sisters who simply want to question. They just question things. They want to continue to learn, to reach forward, to be willing to change, to be willing to further express, expand, increase, and grow. This is why you came here, my fellow brothers and sisters, why you incarnated into this life, And I want to thank you for kicking it off today. I never talk about religion. I remain completely neutral as to religion, countries. There's no R's or D's or red or blue or this state versus that state or this country versus that country, beliefs or anything. I come to you from a perspective of 100% neutrality. I love you. I love all of our fellow brothers and sisters. The greatest thing you can do, my fellow brothers and sisters, is to love someone that you formerly may have thought you didn't like or you disliked, or even, to use the H word, that you thought you hated previously. You're done with that. I want you to share love and have love for that individual, release them or release yourselves. And I think, Mikey, what I run into a lot with our fellow brothers and sisters is when we're faced with challenges in life, we're faced with these challenges, and fellow brothers and sisters, what I said earlier, and I congratulate you on the greatest day of your life, that this is in the present. All we have is the present. If you can think, our fellow brothers and sisters think of time, Mikey, as a linear, as far as it running from left to right, let's say, and things happen over a period of time. But that's the exact opposite. The easiest way that I can explain it to a human being is time is stacked on top of each other, past, present, and future. Everything occurs at a specific moment in time, yet everything exists at only one moment in time. Everything exists at only one moment in time. Every possible outcome for you exists at this exact moment in time. That's why the universe, that's why source states over and over again that nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Every possible outcome for you exists in this ocean, this limitless ocean that's in front of you, in the ether around you, this limitless ocean of opportunities. Anything you can so desire exists for you, my fellow brothers and sisters. I've been guaranteed over and over again from Source, Ancient Ascended Master Council, that every possible outcome that you could ever imagine, an endless ocean of opportunities for you. Now, what causes us to run into a roadblock with these opportunities? It's ourself. We've got the keys to the kingdom inside of us. And the number one roadblock is fear. Fear is the absolute number one roadblock, at least in a tie for number one, that impedes your manifesting. Again, when we speak about manifesting at Papi Mindset Coach, we're talking about proactively, positively manifesting. The supermajority of our brothers and sisters are reactively manifesting. That's why they don't have that's what they don't have in their lives, what they want in their lives. They've manifested it all, because for every 5 thoughts, 4 of their thoughts are negative, and that's what they're bringing in. And what's the challenge? So the first thing we ought to always be cognizant about, and the universe, Mikey, sent through a very powerful message. And some of these are so nuanced. I've told you before about my journey, and my fellow brother says I was instructed to go read a book, and I read that entire book, and I took all that knowledge in. Then I'd be directed to go and purchase a book and read a chapter. Then I'd be instructed to go purchase a book. Don't read the entire book. Don't read the entire chapter. Read a page. Read an entire page. Then I'd be instructed to purchase a book. Don't read the whole book. Don't read a whole chapter. Don't read a whole page. Just read one paragraph. Then I would be pointed to purchasing a book and just reading one sentence. Then I'd be directed to purchasing a book and going to a specific chapter on a specific page in a specific paragraph in a specific sentence and read and focus on and immerse myself and internalize one word. One word. That is how powerful our words are. And my fellow brothers and sisters, fear is the number one obstacle for our fellow brothers and sisters in impeding them to manifest anything they can imagine. And what I was leading up to, Mikey, what the universe sent through here very recently was And again, it's so nuanced, and it's nuance on top of nuance on top of nuance, and it's so powerful. But as you've heard me say before, my fellow brothers and sisters, and I said to the audience, Mikey, in my 28-day manifesting online coaching course, I spent an entire day, an entire chapter, an entire element, a class on the army of support you have around you. You have an entire army around you. And I explain that. In that class. And I'm just speaking to that topic here in the monologue today, that it came through from the universe. And I never exactly looked at it this way before, but source in the universe said, Pappy, we can't help the way that we can help if your fellow brothers and sisters are in a state of fear. You're blocking the gifts that are coming to you. You're blocking the help. You're blocking the Calvary. You're blocking the support because you're in such a low negative vibration. My fellow brothers and sisters, there's one thing for you to internalize, and I say it as politely as I can, is put on your big boy pants, put on your big girl pants, and step into the power you've been given. Step into your power. You've got to do your share. You've got to co-create with Source. You take your faith and all the ability that you've been given and have belief on everything external to you with this bounty that's all around you and the ether that's around you that you can direct, and and create anything with all this energy that's all around you. To take this, you have to do your part. And what impedes us is fear. And fear is in the category, Mikey, of other things related to it. Problems, what our brothers and sisters call problems, challenges, and obstacles. And I've told you, my fellow brothers and sisters, I want you to get so ingrained that it's automatically reactive to you. When you see a problem, what your former self would call a problem, a challenge, or an obstacle, I want you to say, thank you. That's the first thing I want in your mind. I want you to say, Dad, this is good. I'm so happy and grateful now for this problem, because my fellow brothers and sisters, the pathway forward is in there. And Mikey, one of my many heroes is Louise Hay. And when I was thinking about the show today and I was doing my intentions for you, Mikey, and for Kim, and for all of our wonderful fellow brothers and sisters across the 6 continents that we regularly communicate with, I thought of Louise, and I'd been thinking about this, Mikey, and you know how it works. And I've been thinking about, I started thinking about the show a couple days ago, the podcast a couple days ago, and I've got so much information, as you can see behind me and in the building next door, books upon books upon books. That's what you have Pappy for. I'm taking the 7 to 8 decades I've been on Earth and condensing this down to you into minutes, into hours, into days. I'm taking all this that I've done, all this universal knowledge I have, and condensing it for you, handing it to you on a silver platter as easy as possible. And I had heard it and said it tons of times, Mikey, a wonderful affirmation by Louise Hay. And it just escaped me. Sometimes something escapes your mind. I'm just thinking, I just want to quote this. I just want to share this with the audience. So Louise Hay had a very just wonderful set intention affirmation that she would state anytime she would run into what I'm referring to as a problem, a challenge, an obstacle. And oftentimes, I talked about last show, Mike, and we spent a good bit of time, rightfully so, to the divine sovereign feminine. We spent a lot of time on our last podcast honoring that. And Louise Hay is the epitome of the divine sovereign feminine. So thank you, my wonderful sister, Louise. What a wonderful gift that she was before her transition. Just thank you so much. You left us so much ancient wisdom. And I just want to share this with the audience, Mikey. I'm going to get it exactly correct. It's so powerful. So Louise had said, anytime that we're faced with an obstacle or a challenge or a problem, she said, this is the phrase that she would state. And she taught this her entire life. I heard her say this over decades and decades. So you're faced with a problem or challenge, quote unquote, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come to me, and I am safe. And I'll say it a couple times, Mikey. Just think about this, my fellow brothers and sisters. Close your eyes for a moment. Just think about, you have a problem, a challenge, an obstacle, something that is weighing so heavily on your shoulders. It's weighing on you right now. That's why you tuned in here. Your subconscious mind communicated with my subconscious mind. You were pulled in. You came here for a reason. This very well may be the reason today. You're faced with a challenge with health, your physical health, your mental wellness, wealth, any and all things money, love, happiness, relationships, experiences, spiritual. You're faced with some challenge or multiple challenges that your previous self, it was you considered it a burden to you, weighing on your shoulders so heavily. Let it go, my fellow brothers and sisters. Turn that weight, those cement blocks into a feather. Just close your eyes and just think about this. I'll read it to you a couple of times. I love you, Louise. Hey, thank you so much for this, Louise. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. Then I can convert it to a Papi affirmation for how we do our affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. I am so happy and grateful now that all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. One last time. I am so happy and grateful now that all is well and everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. It is done, it is done, it is done. It is done, it is done, it is done. It is done, it is done, it is done. Take that, my fellow brothers and sisters, and take it to the bank. Thank you, Louise, for such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful concept. My fellow brothers and sisters, you can save that one and repeat that anytime that you're faced with a challenge. And it has a wonderful divine feminine, a divine sovereign feminine vibration to it. And it may vibrate even better with our wonderful sisters of our tribe. You may want to take that and hold that close to you and internalize that anytime you're faced with a challenge, because my fellow brothers and sisters, the universe, source, never does anything to you, never does anything to any of us. Source only does things for us. Source only does things for us. You are your only problem, and you are your only solution. You are your only problem, and you are your only solution. Finally, my fellow brothers and sisters, before we carry on with our podcast today, life does not come at you. Life does not come at you. Life comes from you. Life comes out of you. You control this. Life coming at you, our brothers and sisters say, life's coming at me, it's overwhelming me. That's a direct indication you're living your life outside in. Life comes from you. Life comes out of you. That's what Papi talks about, you living your life inside out. So thank you so much, Mikey, for a wonderful start today. Thank you, Kim. I just wanted to share that from Louise. It's just so powerful. And anytime I heard her say that, it just made my heart feel so good. And I'm so happy I got to share that with the audience today.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. That's a great start to the show. And like the one thing about our podcast too is as we go along, it makes you think of other things. And that reminded me too of everyone's heard of like Kobe Bryant, and he always said like you're not going to go through life with zero obstacles or zero challenges. What you have to do is meet those thoughts, and then they can't stay in your head for very long. So once you recognize them and meet them, like you said, they are done. Meet them, they're done. Get over them and move on. And so you bring a lot of coaching tips whenever you're talking to us, and recently you led a mastermind class, a manifesting mastermind class. Can you share that experience with us?
Sure, Mikey. Thank you so much. And thank you, because I know you got to sit in on a good bit of the class as well. This was the day after the Papi Manifesting Summit in Orlando, Florida, for individuals who wanted to attend. A lot of them are entrepreneurs, et cetera, that I'll get into in a moment. We had an all-day class, and it was a wonderful class. So thank you, Mikey, for attending that, and Coop as well. I know he got to sit in on a good bit. So we had about 30 or 40 attendees for the Manifesting Mastermind class in Orlando, Florida. It was a 2-day event from Papi Mindset Coach. And just what a wonderful day it was with our fellow brothers and sisters. It was classroom style. again, as I said, 30, maybe 40 attendees. I had made up a special workbook, manifest anything you can imagine workbook. Very diverse audience, younger brothers and sisters, older brothers and sisters, athletes, entrepreneurs, brothers and sisters specializing in finance and wealth areas, entertainment and education. And what's always beautiful, Mikey, about manifesting is that, especially when we get a diverse room like that together, we're all in this together. We're all members of the same tribe. It doesn't matter what we're doing for a living and what we like doing or love doing. We want to be doing we want to be in our purpose. We want to be in our zone of genius and our purpose, that we want to be doing what we love doing. If you find what you love doing, my fellow brothers and sisters, you'll never work another day in your life. And the beauty of this is that the law of manifesting, the law of attraction, manifesting the law of attraction applies and works for all. It applies and works for all of our fellow brothers and sisters. We talked about last week, Mikey, on the podcast, the young gentleman that I was coaching and teaching up and leveling up, who were all-American basketball players. They were in their mid to upper teens, young gentlemen from all countries all across the country, every possible background that you could possibly imagine, works for all of us equally. We're all fellow brothers and sisters. Our spiritual spark, my fellow brothers and sisters, in all of us is exactly the same. You have a perfect spirit. You have a perfect spiritual DNA inside of you. You possess a perfect spiritual spark. We're all exactly the same. I've told you, you come into life and you incarnate. You incarnate for lessons over and over to further elevate and purify your spirit. You've come into life, as I said before, you've incarnated. You typically will stay along the same gender. You don't have to, but that's just typically what happens. We talked about last class, the female gender, male gender, the universal law of gender. And also we come in, it doesn't matter what the color of our skin is. My fellow brothers and sisters, you've incarnated. Source has specifically laid this out to me. Black, brown, tan, white, yellow, red. You've been every skin color at least one time, typically multiple times. And Source says that there's specific learning lessons across this entire globe that are associated with being in different places, of a different skin color, of a certain gender, etc. This is all part of your learning experience. And I remind you over and over, my fellow brothers and sisters, you picked this experience. You picked your entry date. You picked your born on date. You picked your exit date. You picked how you're going to exit. You picked your mother. You picked your father. And you picked your mother and father. And you picked how were you going to be raised and who was going to raise you, because it's typically tied to your karmic lessons and your lessons that you yourself decided that you wanted to go through. You said, this is going to give me the best chance for me to succeed at my karmic lessons, for me to succeed at my lessons, for me to succeed at my contracts, my soul contracts. You thought this through, my brothers and sisters. So stop. Don't ever doubt yourself or complain. Okay, complaining, we talk about looking towards the past. That's what our brothers and sisters complain about a lot, is whoever raised you, just leave it alone. I am so happy and grateful now that they did the best they could. They did the best job they could. I thought the fellow brothers and sisters, they may say, they were talking about, they're saying that they had a bad upbringing, maybe when their parents was an alcoholic. You, my fellow brothers and sisters, may have been the alcoholic in the previous lifetime. Do you get my drift? Are you getting my frequency here? Okay, so we don't judge. Everything is for a reason. You thought this out. You wanted yourself to be in a situation. And when you were planning this out, believe me, you did have your big boy pants on and you did have your big girl pants on. And you said, yes, I want this. I want this challenge. I've said before, Mikey, and it's one of the most profound things that ever happened when Source corrected me, because I was lamenting one day and I was saying about, I felt sorry for our fellow brothers and sisters who were challenged, who had a challenge maybe physically or in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they were in a wheelchair or something. And the universe ripped me a new one, Mikey. They ripped me a new one. They said, Papi, don't you ever, your brother and sister selected that. And they said, you know what, Papi, those individuals are warriors. Specifically, quote unquote, they told me they have the soul of a warrior. They said, I want that challenge. They said, I'm going to eat this challenge for breakfast. That's what our brothers and sisters say. So you look at who you think is a disadvantaged brother or sister of yours. These are warriors. They have the soul and the spirit of a warrior. They said, I want a bigger challenge. So we can't judge. We never judge, my fellow brothers and sisters. This universe is more complex and more complicated than our human minds could ever imagine. Ever imagine. Give all glory and praise that we're here and for what we have in this opportunity, and cherish every moment you have. All we have is the present. All we have is the present. This universe is eternally grounded in the present. And what happened in his classroom was another powerful experience. Just the beauty of a diverse group of fellow brothers and sisters, young and old. And then the power of writing down. I tell you, my fellow brothers and sisters, you can listen to me speak or anyone else, and you will retain maybe 10% a month later. You can listen to me speak or someone else and write it down, and you can retain up to 40, maybe 50% a month later. Write it down. I say, when you're writing out your affirmation, anything on a white piece of paper, ideally using blue ink, a good old-fashioned blue pen. So blue on white really works real well with your brain to help you to densify that, to collapse that, and to be able to help you to create and manifest. If you hear something and write it down and involve yourself physically, even if you're just sitting somewhere or listening, I'm going to say, yes, I knew that. You could pump your fist. You can mentally pump your fist. Just get your physiology involved. Get involved. This is all about your mind, body, and spirit, and how interwoven they are. This ecosystem is one and the same, mind, body, and spirit, all interconnected. Conscious mind with your subconscious mind with your subconscious mind. So the power of writing down, of collapsing this wave function, of densifying this, of collapsing this and bringing this into 3D reality. So the power of writing down, and I suggest that a number of times throughout the day with the attendees in the mastermind class, using your imagination and your ideas and your thoughts. My fellow brothers and sisters, it doesn't have to be as fancy as meditation. Just put yourself in a quiet place. Put yourself in a quiet place and just turn everything off. No screens, as I said, no smartphones, laptops, computers, televisions, no screens. Just you. Just sitting in a room, peace and quiet. Give yourself 5 minutes in the middle of the day, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and just quiet everything down. And you shut off your conscious mind, and you'll be open to this glorious download that is coming down to you in loving embrace 24/7, 365, all day long, pure power and spirit and energy. So by writing this down, my fellow brothers and sisters, it helps to collapse and densify this, helps to collapse and densify your thoughts, and helps to bring them into this 3D reality. Technically, they call it collapsing the wave function. You'll hear neuroscientists or quantum physicists talk about that. And when you write it down, as you heard me say before, I am so happy and grateful now, that, or an intention, anything that you write down, always apply your emotions and your feelings. So we spent a wonderful day. And the thing that jumped out me the most again, Mikey, was just such a diverse audience, but the common vibration in the audience, from brothers and sisters from every race and creed, from every age bracket, from pretty much every career path, or a very diverse set of career paths in that room. But the common thread that everyone felt called there, everyone was taking in this information. It was being so well absorbed. The vibration was so good. The interaction between the tribe members. So again, my fellow brothers and sisters, just another example of what I stated to you about how powerful it is. Keep your inner circle as small as possible. Let's say if you'd like a number, a lot of brothers and sisters do, keep it to 5 fellow brothers and sisters or less. Even start off smaller as you build this, and you want everyone around you at or above your vibration. And when you get into a room, which you will, and you have 20 or 30 or 40 fellow brothers and sisters all vibrating at or above your level, you will start, I call it popping popcorn. You're going to start popping popcorn because your conscious mind is going to get out of the way. Your subconscious mind is so excited and so happy that you're feeding it, you're shining sunlight on it, you're watering it, and you're just letting it go and letting it do what it does. Your subconscious mind, again, creates 95% of what you create in your life. Your conscious mind on top only creates 5%. I call it your stinking thinking. Dolores Canning called it Mr. Stupid. And I never underestimate, because your conscious mind, my brother and sisters, has a couple of very, very, very important jobs. And the tie for number one is protecting your subconscious mind. And also the tie for number one is it's the launch point that starts imagination, ideas, ideation, and thoughts. So very, very important for that. But just to get a room full of like-minded fellow brothers and sisters, the energy was so powerful, and the success and the feedback that I received during that class and afterwards, very, very powerful. So Mikey, thank you for sharing that wonderful day with me and our other fellow tribe members. And it was just a very great example of the wonderful compounding effect of very high vibration, like-minded brothers and sisters.
I agree completely. I was so happy and grateful to be a part of that mastermind. It was a lot more personal than the actual summit, 'cause it was just like a smaller group, and we were all coordinating together in harmony with other brothers and sisters that have the same, positivity. So it was just a really great experience for me. So I appreciated being there a lot. And speaking of positivity, Papi wants to send us positive messages every week via our email, and he provides us with 2 concepts to live by for free to everyone on our mailing list. Papi, which one are you sharing with us today?
Yes, Mikey. The concept I'd love to share today that we sent out within the last couple of weeks. One of the concepts lived by we sent out is meet your thoughts. And I talk about this in my book, my fellow brothers and sisters. And again, I state that the torch has been handed off to me from Andrew Carnegie to Napoleon Hill to Earl Nightingale to Bob Proctor to myself. Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill got together, and Andrew gave him all the knowledge that was inside of his head. Napoleon wrote it down in this book, Think and Grow Rich. And very simply, anytime I give a talk, I say, if you like the book, Think and Grow Rich, and or the movie, The Secret, I think you'll love Pappy. And again, I just make suggestions. It'll be up to you. For the future, manifest anything you can imagine. My book, again, working hand in hand with the wonderful work that Andrew did and Napoleon did in Think and Grow Rich. And in my book, I explain it in detail regarding meet your thoughts. So my fellow brothers and sisters, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, and it was one of the things that The Secret, Rhonda Byrne did such a phenomenal job with The Secret, with the movie The Secret, but it's always easy to judge things in retrospect. We're not judging, but just to make the observation of a lot of brothers and sisters saying, this isn't working for me. It was very big on imagination, ideas, and thoughts, but it was short on action and taking action. So one of the most common questions I'll get asked is, Pappy, what do I need to do? What type of action do I need to take? How much do I need to take, etc.? So for starting off, my fellow brothers and sisters, and I like to explain things in stories or metaphors, etc., and acronyms, as you know, I've got a lot of acronyms. But in this case, I like you to think about meeting your thoughts. So I think if you could just close your eyes again, my fellow brothers and sisters, and just think of yourself that you're down on a football field. United States, we call football where we wear shoulder pads and helmets. We call it football here. If you're one of our fellow brothers and sisters across the globe, you would be calling what we call United States soccer. But no matter what it is, they're both played on an enormous, large, beautiful, green, natural grass. Let's just use our imagination. We're on a natural grass, beautiful green football field. You're standing at one goal line, at one goal, at one end of that field. And again, just close your eyes, just envision this. You're standing at that end of the field, and this entire beautiful field is all out in front of you, the full length of it. Now, when you have an idea, and I tell you, my fellow brothers and sisters, that your imagination, your ideas, your thoughts start this entire process. So think you're standing on that goal line and you have a thought, and a firework goes off in the distance, straight ahead, up above the goal line, the other end of the football field. A firework goes off. And when that dust and smoke settles down from that firework, you see the faint outline of what you're thinking about. You see the faint outline. And let's say at the same time, we'll use our imagination, and you hear, you hear something. That's a conveyor belt. So the faint outline, the mold has started. The thought form has started regarding what you have imagined or use your ideation or thought about. And now it's on a conveyor belt coming towards you. And I've told you before, you will manifest what you are. So again, this is your thoughts, feelings, actions, and words. So you keep your thoughts on that. You maintain a high vibration in your feelings and emotions. You're being careful for the words coming out of your mouth. You're being equally careful about the words going in your ears. And this conveyor belt is coming toward you. But you notice that it doesn't come all the way towards you. You notice that it stops somewhere around midfield. So what happens, my fellow brothers and sisters, is you get to, human beings could say have to, we would say you get to perform efficient, inspired, joyful action. Action is the key. And action in my metaphor here that I'm giving you is you walking towards midfield. So you're taking action, efficient, inspired, joyful action. You take a big step. Taking more efficient, inspired, joyful action, you take another big step, another big step. You're walking towards midfield, towards your goal. You're walking towards midfield. So again, the concept to live by was meet your thoughts. It all starts with your thoughts and it's coming toward you. And my fellow brothers and sisters, one other reminder on actions. These are efficient, inspired, joyful actions. But what are the first three letters in the word actions? The first three letters are act. It within your actions are also how you act. Remember what Albert Einstein said, if you get on the frequency of anything on earth, whatever is on that frequency must come into your life. Albert Einstein said, this is not philosophy, this is physics. Take a look at what your faith goal is, what your largest goal is. Take a look what your most important experiences are that you want to achieve. You will see that that group of brothers and sisters act a certain way. And just to use a quick example, let's say if you want to play professional sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, whatever it is, and the average professional athlete is performing 25 hours per week of cardio work, weight resistant work, stretching, film work, in watching film, etc., and you're currently only performing 2 hours or 5 hours, you're not acting as the other brothers and sisters are who are on that frequency, who are at that level. So it's equally important how you act, how you act. So you have this conveyor belt coming towards you from your thoughts, and you're meeting your thoughts through your actions and how you act. Now, one last thing, Mikey, as we continue to do this and we get out to midfield and our goal gets dropped right into our arms and we embrace it and we give thanks and we give appreciation and gratitude, what will happen, Mikey, is we get better at this. The universe so loves you, my fellow brothers and sisters, that you will not have to walk out anywhere close to by your actions midfield. At the end of the day, this conveyor belt from meeting your thoughts will come to you, and you may be, in our U.S. football terms, just having to go out to the 10 or 20-yard line. The universe will do 80% of the work. It won't even be 50%, but you get to, human beings would say must, but you get to, we would say, perform efficient, inspired, joyful action. And this is how you meet your thoughts, and this is how you materialize your goal, and it is in your hands in this 3D world, how it's placed within your life. So meeting your thoughts, extraordinarily important. It's a combination of everything that Papi teaches, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your words. But this one is all about, I'm focusing here today on the part where you are in charge of you proactively moving towards midfield through your actions and the way that you act. So thank you, Mikey. That was a wonderful concept to live by. So powerful, just so very, very powerful.
Thank you, Pappy. That is a great concept, and thank you for breaking it down for us so that we can understand it and giving us that great visual. That's a good way to look at things. And speaking of good ways to look at things, Pappy, you have a great manifest coaching tip for us to manifest the law of attraction. What is the one you're sharing today?
Yes, Mikey, and I appreciate your patience today. I went a little bit long on our earlier topics, so I'll try not to here. On the manifesting coaching tip for today that I was focusing on, Mikey, is, and it seems so basic, but it's so important. My fellow brothers and sisters, you can apply this to anything I'm talking about regarding in your ability to manifest anything you can imagine And you'll hear me abbreviate that as MAYCI, M-A-Y-C-I, M-A-Y-C-I, manifest anything you can't imagine. In this entire process, manifesting law of attraction, in anything we talk about, thoughts, feelings, actions, words, etc., repetition is so important, my fellow brothers and sisters. And I don't say this for us it's for us to place any negative energy into this at all. But your conscious mind, your dome, your shield to protect your subconscious mind was not developed for the first 7 years of your life. Your subconscious mind was wide open. You couldn't defend yourself for the first 7 years of your life. That all went in your subconscious mind. Then, when you're 8 or 9 or 10, I meet adults, 20, 40, 60 years old, 80 years of age, who aren't doing any type of protection at all regarding what they're letting into their subconscious mind. They're not canceling or rejecting anything. They're hearing all this garbage and different things that are coming in and are going in. You're the king. You're the queen. The words you state start to form, gather, and form, and direct energy. You are creating with your words. Words are creating as well when they go in your ear to your subconscious mind. If you don't cancel or reject them, if you don't say no or nope, if you don't say I refuse to participate, if you don't block them, your subconscious mind says you're the king, you're the queen. So repetition, Mikey, and it's not a daunting task, but my fellow brothers and sisters, I love you more than words can express. And I say this with all the love in my heart, that in your subconscious mind, in your paradigm, is your hardware and software operating system that operates everything for you. That's where your limiting beliefs that Papi's taking a bulldozer to every day, every time we talk, I'm taking a bulldozer to your limiting beliefs and flattening them and trying to clear them out of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, my fellow brothers and sisters, your operating system has a virus. And that's what Papi's here for, to eliminate and eradicate this virus in your subconscious mind. And one of the greatest tools we have, Mikey, is repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. And again, my brothers and sisters, when you incorporate this into your daily ritual, you wouldn't even think of it as repetition, that it's a chore or it's a challenge or anything. Your waking ritual, your reset rituals throughout the day, your affirmations, 333, that's 369. You do 3 affirmations, you write out in the morning, you write another 3 in the afternoon, you're up to 6, you write another 3 in the evening, you're up to 9, 369. Gets back to Nikola Tesla, one of the most powerful numbers in the universe. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Addressing your limiting beliefs. Your hardware, your subconscious mind, your software operating system has this virus that took decades and decades to develop, and we're here to chop that down. We're here to chop that tree down. We're here to get the bulldozer out. Repetition, repetition, repetition. The power of working on your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your words through repetition, the TFAW, T-F-A-W that I talk about over and over again. And the power as well of repetition in working on your beliefs, your expectation, your assumptions. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Assume that feeling in advance, my brothers and sisters. Assume that feeling in advance and give gratitude for it. Giving gratitude in advance is so loved by the universe, is so loved by source, is so loved by this creative engine, by the ether and everything around you. It alone can manifest and start to bring things into your life. And know this in your heart of hearts, that you are it. Believe in yourself. And I say, and we don't go deep on this, I have a class on this in my 28-day course, Mikey, faking it till you make it, faking it till you figure it out. All that means is don't overthink that. All that means, I'm saying there, Mikey, in the last class, in class 28, is what I'm saying is never give up. Never, ever give up. Manifesting success is never an if, it's only a when. In fact, this is one of the things, Mikey, that gets a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters into a sticky wicket, so to speak, and causes them not to manifest what they desire in their life. My fellow brothers and sisters, you are so loved. Okay, just get this. You are so loved by Source, by the creator of this entire universe, so loved that Source never says no. Source never says no. That's how loved you are. And we can sit back and say, what's the challenge with that? Source loves you so much and says yes to you every time And if you think 5 thoughts and 4 are negative, those 4 negative orders are being filled just as well. That's what I'm talking about. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, once this dawns on you, this is like the largest light bulb on earth going off over your head. When it dawns on you, the awe-inspiring power that you've been given, this perfection inside of you, you're off to the races. But again, we can manifest the first day. We are part of divine orchestration, divine synchronicity, and divine assignment. As I've been told over and over again, Mikey, Papi, you got to remember there's over 8 billion fellow brothers and sisters here on planet Earth. A lot of affirmations, a lot of intentions, a lot of prayers, a lot of wishes, a lot of dreams, a lot of desires, a lot of things going on. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, we never question if, it's always on its way. Every answer, every affirmation is answered, is heard and answered. Every intention is heard and answered. Every prayer is heard and answered. They're on the way to you. And what can derail them? What can derail them is doubt, fear, worry, anxiety. This can derail it. This can either knock it off that conveyor belt or totally freeze that conveyor belt. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, a lot of positive messages today. Just lean into any of these. I've given you probably a half a dozen. Lean into whatever you're most comfortable with. Make it yours, internalize it, and you will turn your entire life around and realize that life in this world is your oyster. You can create, you can manifest anything you can imagine.
Thank you very much. One thing that you mentioned was your daily ritual. And earlier you talked about setting your intentions and how you set your intentions for the show. And just as important as setting your intention is also saying your affirmations. And I know that your affirmations are always in the present and they always start with I am. I am so happy and grateful now. And what's your affirmation for today?
Yes, the affirmation, my fellow brothers and sisters. Again, in the back of my book, Manifesting, you can imagine, I have pages and pages, dozens and dozens and dozens of affirmations. Again, just to give you an idea. Again, you can take any concept and turn it into an affirmation. Mikey, we did that earlier with Louise Hay's wonderful, wonderful phrase that she had and how she was so successful in life when she ran into what human beings would call a problem or a challenge. And we start ours off, I am so happy and grateful now. And when you write out your number one goal, your faith goal, again, this is the largest goal on earth that you have, health, wealth, love, whatever it may be. When you write this out 3 times in the morning, this is how you start every time. I am so happy and grateful now that, and I'm just sharing an affirmation from my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine today. I am so happy and grateful now that I constantly hold in my mind the purpose of manifesting my goal through the realization of my mental image. And what did we say just a little bit ago, Mikey? We were sharing with our brothers and sisters. You're continuing to hold that thought as that's on that conveyor belt. You start the process. You continue to apply energy into your thoughts. And what's the most powerful way we can do that, brothers and sisters? Visualization. And again, as Bob Proctor told me a long time ago, Pappy, because I was having a challenge. I said, Bob, coaching my brothers and sisters, I'm thinking this is going to work. Something else different. He said, Pappy, your brothers and sisters, they manifest a lot of different ways. But I can tell you that consistently, again, not everything works for everyone, but visualization is so powerful. It's so powerful. It's my number one, but it's so powerful for so many of our fellow brothers and sisters. So again, what I say in the affirmation today, I'm so happy and grateful now that I constantly hold in my mind. You hold it in your mind. You hold this in your mind. And as you hold it, my fellow brothers and sisters, your thoughts and your feelings, and you elevate your feelings, high feelings and high emotions. I tell you, feelings and emotions are the secret sauce. When you add those, that one firework that went up with your thoughts, boom, 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 dozens of fireworks, dozens of additional fireworks go off when you apply feelings and emotions to it. And when you can see your thought turning into form, starting to come into form to be delivered to you in this 3D world, it further develops that right in front of your eyes. It accelerates the process. That's the secret sauce, your feelings and emotions. What do we talk about? You meet it at midfield or toward midfield. Those are your actions and the way that you act. And finally, that W, the words, we express that. That's all along in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your actions, the words that you speak and the words that you allow to go into your ears. Be extraordinarily careful, my fellow brothers and sisters. So again, every affirmation, as you stated, Mikey, I am, and I always spell am, capital A, capital M, to honor source. I am, I am, I am, I am. Look at yourself, my fellow brothers and sisters. When you can internalize this, look at yourself in the mirror, into the deep recess of your subconscious mind within your own eyes, and state, I am, I am. I am, I am. When you recognize the God force inside of you that you possess, this gift, you will be so happy. You will be so full of love when you realize how special you truly are. No participation trophy, no participation trophy, how truly special you are, and the power and gifts and love that has been bestowed upon you. You'll be walking around you'll be walking around on air for the rest of your life. So again, as you said, Mikey, affirmation so powerful. I am so happy and grateful now that. So thank you, Mikey, for sharing it with the audience.
That's a great affirmation. Thank you so much. And the more you listen to this podcast, the more answers you're going to find. And Pappy answers so many questions in the 45 minutes that we spend together. But if you do have a question for Pappy, just go to the website and click on the Ask Pappy link at the top to submit your question. And one of our listeners today wants to know, what do you love most about what you do, Pappy?
Yes, Mikey, that's a very interesting question because usually it's always about our fellow brothers and sisters, about them. Help me with this, Pappy. Help me figure out, can you this, can you that? And that one's interesting. Whenever you told me about it, I brought a smile on my face. It's a wonderful question. So what do I love most about what I do? My fellow brothers and sisters, I can just share with you that basically what was shared with me and what does happen with a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters, what was shared with me from source is, Pappy, you're going to have 3/3 to your life. You're going to have your physical third. That's approximately the first third. You're growing up, and especially as you're growing up, you're learning your body, you're a kid. And I love playing sports, baseball, football, basketball. I played football. I was an all-state high school football player. I played into college, but I love baseball. That was my favorite sport. I should have pursued that, but again, we're not going to have any regrets. And I would have liked to, my human side, and even basketball. I love basketball. So you're going through, and even when you're in your 20s, you're still like learning your body, you're filling out. A lot of our brothers and sisters don't stop growing until they're in their 20s. They don't stop filling out as far as their skeletal system and muscularity until they're into their 20s. So you've got the first 3 decades or so, which is really about the physical part of your life, the physical part of your body. And again, this all gets back to mind, body, and spirit, all of this working in perfect harmony. The universe said, Pappy, the second part of your life, that's your mind, body, and spirit. So the first part's your body, the second part's your mind, Pappy. You've really got good, not just me, all of our fellow brothers and sisters, they said this pretty much holds true all the way across the board. Second part of our lives is our mind. We're developing our mind. So again, you've heard my story. I dropped out of college, helped my father. He died in his early 50s from a massive heart attack. And I went back to school. I finished my undergraduate degree. I got a couple of master's degree. I got my CPA. I got credentials, designations, etc. And as you're doing these things, it takes over a lifetime. I went back. In fact, I went back to college every semester, 12 months out of a year for 10 consecutive years, 10 straight years to finish my education. So it just shows you what you can do when you put your mindset to something. That's what it is about Pappy helping you with your mindset. So that next third of our life, that's your career, what you're doing. You go through different careers, different positions, different jobs. And you have a job until you find your career, and you want to find a career in which you love. As I said earlier in today's podcast, you never work another day in your life. And then this third of my life, Mikey, that I'm in is what has brought us all together today. If you want to call it sort of Pappy getting hit by a bolt of lightning, metaphorically, you can call it that. But the first third is the body, the second third, the mind, and this part is the spirit, the spirituality. And since I got hit with that bolt of lightning, so to speak, it all started in early 2000s when this whole process started. I've devoted the rest of my life, my fellow brothers and sisters, I devoted the rest of my life to help you manifest anything you can imagine, with sharing this ancient wisdom with you, these downloads that I get, that I have received for years and years and continue to receive, to help shine universal light on you, to awaken this inner knowing that's within you, within your subconscious mind, for grand awakening, for grand remembering. We're, my fellow brothers and sisters, in the largest shift in a very, 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 very long time. This is a shift from the 3D to the 5D. from 3D to 5D, the big shift to the new earth. All I can do is offer you these suggestions. I just ask you to sit in yourself, immerse yourself in silence, in quiet, with no screens around you, and see what comes through to you. Again, at the heart and soul of everything is a message of love and light, of truth and goodness. And Mikey, I've dedicated the rest of my life to this. This is why I came here. This is why I incarnated. This is my number one job, if someone wants to think of it that way. This is why I came here. This is why I was sent here. This is what I spent, in human terms, years and years and years preparing, with Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, amongst others, on the Council of Humanity, Table of Humanity, Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Dolores Cannon, Neville Goddard, Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman, just geniuses upon geniuses upon geniuses all over. And again, there's so many of our fellow brothers and sisters in ethereal form who love you. You have more, you have an entire army, as I talk about in my course, an entire army of support around you. And what I love most about what I do, Mikey, is sharing this wonderful message from Source with our fellow brothers and sisters about how special they are, about this gift that they've been giving, this gift that they've been given to get them to remember, to awaken and remember this wonderful gift that every one of our fellow brothers and sisters, I've been guaranteed over and over again from Source, my brothers and sisters, that each one of you possesses the ability to manifest anything you can imagine and to achieve what you yourself would define as living in prosperity, being prosperous in health, prosperous in wealth, prosperous in love, happiness, relationships, experiences, spirituality, whatever it may be, whatever it may be. And there may be some tough sledding out there that we could say from a human perspective, but we don't know, my fellow brothers and sisters, you're not given the answers to the exam when you come here, as Dolores Cannon said, or else it really wouldn't be a test, now would it? So a lot of times when you're running into challenges, you're running into some energy that could be, you could say in your human terms, a challenge that is part of a karmic lesson that you came here to learn. That's what Papi's here for, to help teach you, hold your hand, walk arm in arm with you, to love you up one side and down the other, to share love with you, let you know how loved you are from Source by the creator of all. So what I love the most, Mikey, is dedicating the rest of my life to sharing this love and light and truth and goodness with as many of my fellow brothers and sisters as possible, to shine universal light on over 1 billion of my fellow brothers and sisters and awaken this untapped creative power that lives within them. So I thank you, Mikey, for being such a big part of that, for helping me in every way that you do, not just on the show, with everything else. I thank Kim for being such a big part of it. Again, not just what she does on our podcast, but what she does also. Of course, most of the work is done off camera, so to speak. We're on camera now, but most of the wonderful, glorious work that Mikey and Kim and everyone at Papi Mindset Coach is performing outside of the spotlight. And that's really where the magic happens. So that's what I love about it, Mikey. I love about the relationship I have with you and with Kim, all the Papi Mindset Coach team members, and there's an inner circle that we call it also around Papi Mindset Coach. And even these inner circle, not even them, but these inner circle brothers and sisters, they're just like family to me as well. Their hearts are in the right place. They want to pay forward. They want to merge their profit with purpose. They want to help to shine universal light in their fellow brothers and sisters in need. So just such a wonderful tribe and ecosystem, and additional wonderful fellow brothers and sisters we continue to meet on a daily or weekly basis. That's what I love about it, Mikey. So I'm going to thank you and Kim, and I thank our entire audience, because we all help elevate each other. Every time I interact with one of you, my fellow brothers and sisters, either in person when I'm doing a presentation, or virtually, or through maybe an email communication, but especially in person or virtually or on a phone call, we're having some type of energy exchange, extraordinarily powerful. I thank all of you. You are the energy that keeps filling up the fuel in my tank that keeps me going. So thank you so much. And that's a great question, Mikey. So thank you for thinking to have a little different perspective today.
Absolutely. And I know you've heard this before, but Pappy, we are so happy you're alive and here to do this for us. And I know you've always joked around like, oh, I am too. But no, we truly are happy that you're here, that you're happy you're alive and you're with us to share all of this positivity. Um, And our podcast is a great addition to the book, Manifest Anything That You Can Imagine, that you wrote. And I know that it comes in both an audio and a physical copy. But since we're talking about writing things down, I just want to share with the audience, like with my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, I love that you can just take the physical copy and just write things down. Like mine's all marked up. It's either like got quotes on the side or just questions that I've come across or answers that I found. And each time that I read it or look at it, something else jumps out at me. And one of my favorite parts are the quotes at the beginning of each chapter. And we are on the already on chapter 11. So, Pappy, what quote do you have for us?
Yes, Mike, and this one tied into what we spoke about earlier, but I will give our wonderful brothers and sisters the quote directly out of my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. Close your eyes and in your mind, imagine a beautiful green natural grass football field. Focus on the middle of the field in front of you, as this is where you will produce with your thoughts and meet with your actions your manifested goal. Imagine yourself standing at one goal line, staring the entire length of the field at the distant goal or goal line. Your thought creates and delivers your goal toward you to midfield. Your action produces results that allow you to walk toward and meet your thought form at midfield, allowing you to physically accept, grab, and embrace your goal. Papi DiNuzzo. So thank you, Mikey, for everything tying in so absolutely phenomenally well today on the show. Just another great quote from Manifest Anything You Can Imagine.
Absolutely. It's great words to end the show, just us visualizing us achieving our goals today. And that's what I hope every one of us gets to do. If you are a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Mastermind or the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profits entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. So if you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, Pappy's Mastermind and Retreats were created just for you. And Pappy, what do you have to say for us in closing?
Yes, Mike, you always get excited at the beginning of the show whenever you're talking. You do all the introduction, everything. I get excited listening to your voice. And whenever I'm getting started with the initial monologue and the greeting to kick it off, and I get equally excited at the end to share this love at the end of our show, Mikey, because to me, it is the closing of our podcast, but it's really the momentum of me sort of mentally, figuratively rolling this ball and keeping this momentum and keeping this ball rolling until we meet again. So I love sharing this love and light and energy at the end of the show, Mikey. So in closing, my fellow brothers and sisters, I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you joining us today. This is so powerful. I am so grateful. Thank you so much for joining us today and making Pappy Mindset Coach and this entire movement, making it so powerful all across planet Earth to the 6 continents that we're interacting with. Namaste, my wonderful, beautiful, intelligent, talented fellow brothers and sisters. Namaste to all of you. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. I am so, so very grateful for you. I want to send you love and light and truth and goodness. Inner knowing for your inner knowing, to awaken the inner knowing. That's what my job is, my fellow brothers and sisters, to awaken the inner knowing that lives within you. The creative power, this dormant creative power in so many, to awaken it for a grand awakening, a grand remembrance. I want to send you my positive, my positive advancing personality. I want to send to you, I am sending to you my impression of increase. And I am sending to you at this very moment in time, positive energy upon positive energy upon positive energy. Receive it, my fellow brothers and sisters. Let's walk hand in hand, arm in arm. Let's help to elevate each other. I'm sending you this wonderful high vibration, high frequency, sending you this wonderful positive energy this very moment in time. Please receive it. Take it into your life. It's a message of love and light and truth and goodness. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am. Until we meet again, my wonderful fellow brothers and sisters, love and blessings to each and every one of you and all of your loved ones. Until we meet again on our next podcast. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Namaste. That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit PapiMindsetCoach.com for more resources and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.